Charlie Matthews, and welcome back to another Countdown to Little Nightmares video, and also the last Countdown to Little Nightmares 2 video. That's right, guys, I think it is about 40 days until Little Nightmares 2 finally drops on the Xbox One, the Xbox One X and S, the PS4, the PS5, the Nintendo Switch, and the PC, and whatever other consoles it's coming to. I am completely hyped. Seriously, it might not sound like it that much in my voice, but right now I am smiling with glee at the fact that we are finally getting Little Nightmares 2 after about a year and a half of waiting. Actually, no, about 2 years of waiting for this game. We are finally getting the anticipated sequel to Little Nightmares. Oh my god, I'm so excited, and I've heard that they're dropping a demo late this month. That's right, late January they are dropping a demo for all of the consoles. It's already on PC right now, so if you have a good running PC and have Steam or GOG.com, you can now download the Little Nightmares 2 demo. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, in this final big finale for Countdown of Little Nightmares 2, we are talking about it. We are talking about the man behind it all. That's right. We are talking about the final antagonist of Little Nightmares 2, the Thin Man, or as fans like to call him, the Broadcaster. His description reads: as the ever-present hum of the transmission chokes the airwaves, the Thin Man continues his endless journey through this desolate place, haunting the shadows, searching for something. So, what can we make out from this description? Well, what we know is the Thin Man is searching for something. He is in the Little Nightmares universe, he is in the Little Nightmares world for a reason, and he is searching for something. So, from the looks of it, he is the one controlling the signal tower, the main objective that Mono has to get to shut down the TV signals that are controlling the fellow townsfolk and distorting people, like the hunter, the doctor, and the teacher. So, at the moment, it seems like this is the man behind it all. And I don't mean, like just on this game. I mean Very Little Nightmares and the original game, Little Nightmares. Because you do see some TVs in the mall and some TVs in Very Little Nightmares from what I remember. So it seems that the Thin Man has also been distorting other places from the Pale City, like the mall, the mainland from the Little Nightmares comics, and the nest from Very Little Nightmares, and possibly other locations that we haven't seen yet. But from at the moment, it seems like this is the man behind the whole distorted world of Little Nightmares, distorting all of the townsfolk in all of the different places and making them into these weird, gross creatures that we see in the games. Now here is where I will look at the gameplay clips from the trailers of Little Nightmares 2, except for the announcement trailer because that didn't even show the Thin Man like at all, and it's an old trailer. It seems like an older like earlier, probably like a beta version of the game. So yeah, I'm going to be analysing the Gamescom 2020 trailer from August and the Halloween trailer from October, obviously, to analyse the gameplay clips of the Thin Man that we can see in those trailers and see if we can maybe work out his sort of gameplay mechanics. Now, here is the first time we actually see the Thin Man in the Gamescom 2020 gameplay trailer. It is near the end, so in the Gamescom one, it isn't that much. Basically, it starts with what seems to be the Thin Man entering through a door, and it seems to be the door that appears at the end of the hallway that we see in Mono's dream at the start of the Little Nightmares 2 Wilderness demo, and what also seems to be the start of the Little Nightmares 2 game. So yeah, it does seem that he is coming through the door that we did see in the hallway, and that also seems to be, like in the original Little Nightmares, Six was searching for the lady so she could get her power, or at least stop the lady so she could escape the maw. And in this, it seems like the same thing. In Mono's dream, there's a hallway with an entrance to what seems to be the broadcast tower, and this seems to be once he finally opens the door, finally gets into the hallway in the signal tower and opens the door and sees the Thin Man. And this will probably be a cutscene where the Thin Man entrances, and there'll probably be, as you know, dramatic Little Nightmares music, and then the boss fight will start. Now this seems to be right after we just picked off, where the Thin Man enters the door and the boss fight starts. It seems that Mono will have to run through the hallway, or Mono and Six, but probably not because, just foreshadowing to later information and analysing. But basically it seems that Mono will have to run down to the hallway and finally get out of the signal tower. And maybe after shutting down the whole signal itself, but really it seems like he will have to kill the Thin Man first to shut it really all down. So yeah, it seems like Mono must have to run down the hallway while the Thin Man is chasing him. And it seems like he kind of makes the light flicker and then the light seems to go out. So he does kind of have the power to do that. So it seems like he kind of has something like the lady's power. He can like make lights go out. He can break stuff, you know what I mean? And he also like ducks his head down, which I think also accesses another ability of the Thin Man. Again, foreshadowing to another piece of analysation later. Now here, I think, is actually before Mono enters the hallway and opens the door. What happens here, basically, is the Thin Man, it seems to be the Thin Man, putting his hands on the TV, maybe trying to get attention to Mono, and then Mono covers his eyes and the Thin Man puts his hands away. So it seems like Mono is basically covering his eyes to, kind of avoid the Thin Man because he's put his hands on there, and maybe he's trying to get through to Mono, maybe to try and kill him or deceive him to then corrupt him with the signal from the broadcast tower that he is putting out that is distorting the Little Nightmares world. But Mono is big brain. Mono is smart. He knows knowledge. So it seems like Mono does cover his eyes because he knows that the signal is bad, and maybe he's covering his face with a paper bag. This is like a tiny theory from other theorists that I kind of believe I'm kind of in the middle of it, because maybe he has been a little distorted by the Thin Man signal before, and he knows what can happen to him, so he covers his eyes in fear that he might be distorted by the signal more. The next shot we see of the Thin Man is when Mono seems to be running and jumping to different trains that seem to be stacked onto buildings and stuff. Yeah, the Little Nightmares universe is weird in its physics and other things. But basically, the Thin Man seems to actually also teleport, which is another ability that I was foreshadowing that I was going to talk about. And it seems, that the Thin Man ducks his head and teleports. So it seems like the Thin Man is going to be harder to get away from than we thought, because he can literally teleport to us, which I think will be pretty scary when we finally run away from him or fight him. So, it seems like Mono is running through a train to try and get away from the Thin Man, or, shut it down or something like that. I'll just run away from him, to be honest. And now, also note that Six isn't there, and she doesn't seem to be in his hands. So, again, foreshadowing to something that I will talk about later and will analyse later and give my thoughts about later. But again, just for now, note that Six isn't there the entire time Mono is trying to get away from him. Now, in the final shot we see of the Thin Man, at least in the Gamescom 2020 trailer, It seems like the Fin Man is kind of like coming up and twitching, and like the screen is glitching out. I hope that is like a thing that does like happen. Like a whole effect throughout his whole boss fight. Like maybe when he teleports in the game, that would be pretty cool. But basically, I think this is near the ending of the game. Maybe not necessarily the ending. It could be, maybe. But like basically, I think it is near the end. But basically, yeah. So the Fin Man is kind of like twitching, and then it seems like standing on the ground, looking scared, isn't Six. It looks like Mono. Yes, that's right, without his mask. And it seems like, no, not his mask, like without his paper bag. And it seems like the Fin Man kind of comes up and grabs him. Does this mean that Mono dies? I don't know. I don't really think so. Maybe, well, it doesn't really seem like that. Again, foreshadowing, blah, 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 to something that I'll analyze later, blah, 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 blah. But maybe, just maybe, if Six maybe manages to escape, she'll use her dark magic, maybe if she regains it from the first game, to maybe try and save Mono and kill the Fin Man. But you never know. Maybe Mono will just die and that'll be the end of the game. That would be kind of underwhelming. But, yeah. So, yeah, this is the final shot we do see, though, of the Fin Man. And he kind of, like, grabs Mono, like, pulls him there, like, gravity, like, with one of his other abilities that he might use in the boss fight. But, yeah, this does seem a little interesting. It could be the ending of the game, but I highly doubt that. And if it is, God, that'll be one of the worst Little Nightmares endings ever. I mean, like, we kind of all saw it coming. I'm kidding, it probably won't be. Maybe it will. Who knows? Now, the first shot of the Fin Man that we see, at least in the most recent Halloween trailer, I think is probably just a shortened version of what I talked about earlier, where, like, the door opens and the Fin Man kind of just comes in and it's, like, the entrance to the boss fight. It does kind of just seem like a shortened version, I guess. That's at least what I can see from this clip. So, there's not really much to say here. Now, this part of the trailer is quite interesting. Why, you ask? Well, because it's new gameplay, of course. We haven't seen this before. And what it seems to be is Mono, like, crouching on some pieces of luggage. Note that you can also see, like, more pieces of luggage, because obviously it does seem like, this takes place in, like, a train. Like different trains and stuff, but not that they're moving. I don't know if they're moving actually. But yeah, and the Fin Man seems to be walking closely up to Mono, and then he kind of like reaches his hand, extends his hand down to him. And also, no, I kind of think like Mono's like soul is like kind of coming out of his body, or like, and Mono is slowly turned to dust. I don't know if that's like just I don't know. It kind of just looks like that. I don't know. But yeah, the Fin Man's like extending his hand out to Mono, and it seems like this might be part of his death animation. Like the Fin Man will slowly get to you and extend his hand to you, and maybe like grab you or something, or like gravity grab you, like we saw at the end of the Gamescom 2020 trailer. Now here, it seems to be like the Fin Man's legs, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I saw. He like teleported to the screen, you could just see his legs. But this seems like probably, again, probably not something I don't think we've already seen, but probably near the end of the cutscene, probably, where like we activate the Fin Man's boss fight, where he like comes out of the door and it gets all distorted and stuff, weird effects, and yeah, this seems to be that. Again, not that much to say. I know we haven't seen it before, but it's not that much really. It's just him teleporting to the screen. So yeah, but that is pretty cool, I guess. It just shows maybe near the end of that cutscene where it like comes through. At least I think it's gonna be a cutscene, Now, the last Fin Man scene of the trailer, and I think the most shocking scene of the trailer itself, is what we see is what seems to be the Fin Man grabbing Six and pulling her through the TV. That's right. It seems that this, I think, is before there was a different shot in the trailer where Mono was like touching the TV and it showed the hallway where the Fin Man seems to come out of. So it seems like this is just before Mono goes through the TV to go save Six and like opens the door, and then that cutscene, with the Fin Man entering. But yeah, this is what I think. This is pretty shocking. I think it shocked the whole fandom when they first saw it, and it shocked me personally. I was like, what, Six? No. But yeah, so this does seem like he'll grab her through the TV. Maybe she gets too close and he like grabs her and pulls her through, and then Mono has to go save her, and that will be the climactic final boss fight that we've seen in the Gamescom trailer and this trailer. But yeah, I think this is crazy. Like, seriously, this game is going to be so cool and it's going to be so intense. Anyway, guys, yeah, so this was the end of the countdown to Little Nightmares 2 series. I think, I'm actually kind of happy, before I say what I think about it all and stuff, about Little Nightmares 2, obviously I think it's going to be a masterpiece, but, yeah, this was actually turning out to be longer than I expected, and that's a good thing. The finale should be the longest episode. Hilda taught me that. Hilda Season 2's finale was 46 minutes, and that's pretty big for a TV show, I guess, for what I've watched, yeah. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, this was the end of the Countdown to Little Nightmares 2 series. We finally discussed the final main antagonist of the game, the Fin Man, or as most of the fans like to call it, they called him before his official name was like, revealed, the Broadcaster, and I kind of like the Broadcaster more. I don't want like, oh my god, here he is, the final boss, Fin Man, but it's kind of cool. I guess it does fit his style. He's Finn, and he's a man in a suit. Could have called him Fin Man in a suit. Anyway, yeah, so I think Little Nightmares 2 is going to be, honestly, the best in the Little Nightmares series, and it could be the last. It does look like, if we do actually beat the Fin Man, it does look like a pretty good conclusion, unless after that they can make like a bunch of prequels and stuff. But yeah, it does seem like, yeah, this could be the end. But if so, it's been an amazing trilogy. It is a trilogy because we had Very Little Nightmares as well. And not many people know of that mobile game, but it is an official game. It just wasn't made by Tarsia, and that's why a lot of people like to ignore it, because they think it might be a rip-off game or something. But anyway, yeah, guys, so I am excited for Little Nightmares 2. It's coming out now in, 34 days? About, yeah, definitely under 100 days. But yeah, I am so excited for this new installment in the series, and possibly the last. What do you think? Comment down below. But anyway, I'm going to stop my yapping. I am hyped for Little Nightmares 2, and I'm just so excited. Trust me, I know Tarsia and Bandai are definitely not messing around with this sequel. This is like the true definition of Little Nightmares. It's just bloody terrifying, but also amazing at the same time. So yeah, guys, I'll probably upload like maybe one gameplay video of me playing a bit of the game. I have pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'll see you all maybe when the game releases. Bye.